Good evening. We're really glad you all showed up tonight. As people were coming in, I thought, here's some brave souls, that's for sure. And in all honesty, you are probably about twice as big as I expected after that big snow today. So we welcome you here. We thank you for coming. Look like Bedford Falls up here, I think, somewhere. So just plain old Kewanee, Illinois. But I know you're in for a treat. They've been practicing for weeks and weeks and weeks. So on behalf of First Baptist Church, I welcome you here. God bless you.
Okay, everyone, 15 minutes to air. Mr. Laurents, Mr. Heywood, Ms. Applewhite, Ms. Sherwood, Mr. Fillmore, this is your 15-minute call. 15 to air time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our live broadcast of WBFR, Playhouse of the Air. We thank you for braving the weather this Christmas Eve, and you'll be glad you did when you hear the story we have for you tonight. It's a Wonderful Life. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this evening's program is being broadcast live from coast to coast, and our listeners are counting on your reactions as a part of their listening pleasure. So don't be shy and feel free to applaud, laugh, swoon, or cry just as loudly as the spirit moves. I'm getting a signal from our stage manager that we're going live on the air in just less than 3 minutes, which allows me just enough time to introduce you to this fine acting ensemble who will be performing this evening's entertainment. A personal friend of Charlie Chaplin, best known for his role in You Can't Argue with Love, playing the role of Joseph, please welcome George, Uncle Josh Stewart. Her career skyrocketed in the mid-1920s on CBS Mystery Theater. Now retired, she operates a bed and breakfast in a sleepy little Midwestern town. But she's back with us to play the matriarchs of our presentation. I give you the timeless Margo Lane. Our next actor was discovered while driving a chariot in the 1925 epic Ben-Hur. He rose to acclaim on the National Barn Dance, playing the role of Bert the Cow and Harry Bailey, as well as others. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, he's here tonight, Walter Sonny Boy Williams. It's not every day the husband and wife team come along. This duo cut their teeth on such hits as Camel Caravan and Midwest Hayride. They hit the big time with starring roles in Manhattan Merry-Go-Round. She plays several of the women in Bedford Falls, and he's the ever-forgetful Uncle Billy. They're here with us tonight. How about a big hand for Melvin and Margo Brooks? Former fullback for the Frankfurt Ferris, this football player bounced around for several years from studio to studio. Our next performer found his niche playing a hard-nosed detective. Best known for his role in Save It for the Judge, playing the role of Mr. Gower and others. Here's Gilbert Touchdown Moore. You know him from Chick Carter, Boy Detectives, and Calico Romance, playing George Bailey, the hero of tonight's story, Mr. Jake Laurents. Having just returned from Los Angeles, having completed filming Donnie Goes Bananas, a Technicolor spectacle, as his leading lady, Mary Hatch, we bring you Miss Ohio 1943, Miss Sally Applewhite. WBFR Playhouse of the Air listeners have heard of our next little lady in roles ranging from Mother Cabrini to Salome. Playing the small-town siren Violet Bick and others in this evening's story, that's right, I give you Miss Lana Sherwood. Susan co-starring with Margaret Dumont in Paramount Pictures' new comedy, The Hick Chick, playing the role of Henry Potter and Martini in this evening's show, Mr. Harry Jazzbo Heywood. Host of Females Are Fabulous, and playing the role of Clarence. Here with you every week on Playhouse of the Air, I'm Freddie Fillmore. I'm getting a signal from our stage manager that we will be on the air in 20 seconds. Thank you all for coming this evening and enjoy the broadcast.
We are live. 5, 4, 3.
WBFR in New York City. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young and old and new. Greetings from WBFR Studio A in Manhattan, New York, right here in the US of A. I'm your host, Freddie Fillmore, and it is my pleasure to bring you your favorite stories this and every week on WBFR Playhouse of the Air. Tonight, we bring you a real feel-good heartwarming, perfect for this or any Christmas Eve. It's a Wonderful Life. We begin our story in the little town of Bedford Falls, New York, US of A, where a number of people in the town are praying for their dear friend, a typical American dreamer named George Bailey.
Dear God, please look over my husband, George. George is a good boy. You know that. My son has always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Now it's him who needs the help.
Help my big brother George. He's done so much for all of us. More for me than I remember.
I remember all the times he would stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
George Bailey never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for him.
If it wasn't for him, I would have given up long ago. All I think about is myself. I must have taken the last cent that he had.
He had no sense of business, had George Bailey, just like his father. None of the Baileys were ever businessmen. It's his own fault if he wasn't prepared for times like
At times like these, I can't help but think it's all my fault. Help him, Father. It's me who's putting him through all this.
Something's the matter with Daddy.
Should we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Susan, pray. Pray very hard.
The voices carry heavenward, and Joseph, the superintendent of angels, summons Clarence, an apprentice angel.
You
Yes, Clarence. A man down on Earth needs our help.
Splendid. Is he sick?
No, worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh, dear, dear, his life. Then I've only an hour to dress. What are they wearing now?
You will spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, might I perhaps win my wings? I've been waiting over 200 years now, and people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you got there?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, fine book, excellent book. Well, you do a good job with George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if you're going to help George, you want to know a little something about him. Look, see that town?
Why, yes. A group of young boys sledding down a snow-covered hill and onto the ice. This is amazing.
Yippee!
Who's that?
That is your problem. George Bailey.
A boy?
That's him when he was 12 back in 1919. If something happens here, you'll have to remember for later on.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey. I'm not scared. Come on, Harry! Come on, Harry! Yippee! Help! Help!
Oh, dear. Harry's falling through the ice.
I'm coming, Harry! Make a chain, gang, a chain!
So his brother fell through the ice, but George saved him.
Yes, Clarence. And ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear. Yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later. George took an after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower, George Bailey.
You're late.
Yes, sir.
Hello, George. Hello, Mary. Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet?
Mary was here first. I'm still thinking.
Shoelaces?
Please, Georgie. I like him. You like every boy. What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Bye, Georgie. See you later, Mary.
Made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look at here. From Tahiti, the Fiji Islands, and the Coral Sea.
What you got there? A new magazine. I never saw it before.
Of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Let me get your ice cream.
Is this the ear you can't hear on? George Bailey? I'll love you to the day I die.
I'm going on exploring someday. You watch. And I'm going to have a couple of harems and maybe 3 or 4 wives. Wait and see.
George! George!
Yes, sir.
You're not paid to be a canary.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George just picked up?
It's a telegram from Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son died of influenza.
Oh, awful.
Yes, and he spent the afternoon drowning his grief in whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you want something? Anything?
No.
Anything I can do back here?
No.
I'll get them, sir. What's this bottle, Mr. Gower?
Never mind that. Just take these capsules over to Miss Blank.
Yes, sir. They have the diphtheria there, haven't they, sir? Is it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower,
I'll get going.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gower.
What is it?
Mr. Gower, well, that bottle you used, you put something wrong in those capsules.
What do you think you're talking about?
Oh, Mr. Gower, you're hurting my sore ear.
Hear what I say? Get out of here.
Please, Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you're unhappy. You got the telegram and you're upset. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower, but look, this bottle, you used this bottle to make up the capsules. It's poison.
Poison?
Don't hit my sore ear again.
Poison on George. George.
Sure, Mr. Gower. I won't tell anyone. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die, I won't.
Oh, George.
Did he ever tell anyone about those pills?
Not a soul.
Did he ever marry the girl? Did he ever go exploring?
We'll get there soon enough, Clarence. When George Bailey grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association?
George's father was in the building and loan business, along with George's uncle Billy.
George, what's the combination to the safe?
We wrote it down so you wouldn't forget it.
That's right. Where?
Your wallet, Uncle Billy.
Thanks.
Lovable fellow, just forgetful is all.
Who's that? A king?
That's Henry F. Potter, the richest and neatest man in all the county.
Peter, Potter's here.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey. There's nothing quite so loathsome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. I'm on a very tight schedule. A family to evict at 3.
Okay, then, Mr. Potter. Here's the thing. I just needed a little more time. Just 30 short days. I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow.
Have you put any real pressure on those people of yours to pay their mortgages?
Times are hard, Mr. Potter. A lot of people are at work.
Well, then foreclose.
I can't do that. These families have children.
They're not my children.
But they're somebody's children, Mr. Potter.
Are you running a business or a charity ward?
Well, all right.
Not with my money.
Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all the money you've got.
Yeah, so I suppose I should give it to you and that miserable failures like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me.
He's not a failure. You can't say that about my father.
George.
You're not. You're the biggest man in town.
All right, son. Thanks. I'll talk to you tonight.
Don't let him say that about your pop.
Tonight.
Now, what kind of business are you running here? Good God, man.
George worked for his father, saving enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. George got a job on a cattle boat and was ready to do a little traveling before college. Old man Gowers surprised him with a gift of a great big suitcase. On his way home from the store, he ran into his friends, Ernie the cab driver and Bert the doctor.
Hey, Ernie.
Hiya, George.
Hiya, Bert. Hey, George. What's the suitcase for?
I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style?
Sure, Your Highness. Hop in a cab. And for the carriage train, I put on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
Oh, this old thing? Why, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. See you later.
Hey, how would you like,
Yes.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No, thanks. They can go home and see what the wife's doing.
Family man.
George saved up money to go away to college. His bags were packed, and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's hard to realize it's the last night at the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure going to miss you around here, George.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you too, Pop. Say, what's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another toss with old Henry Potter today.
Oh?
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us.
Wonder what's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man. Frustrated and sick. Sick in the mind, sick in his soul, if he's got one. Hates everybody and has anything you ever want and can't have. Hates us mostly, I guess.
Hey, George. Can I borrow your tuxedo studs?
I'd help yourself, Harry.
Well, where are they? In your suitcase?
I'm not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, you know.
Say, where'd you get that fine piece of luggage anyway?
Oh, Mr. Gower, a going-away present. And one of these days, you're going to see that bag all covered with travel labels, Italy, Baghdad.
Hey, why don't you come to the dance tonight?
What, be bored to death?
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Hey, I gotta hurry.
I wish we could send you to college with Henry, George.
Oh, we had that all figured out, you see. Harry'll take my job in building and loan, work there 4 years, then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job.
Well, no younger than I was.
You were born older, George. You know, I suppose you decided what you're going to do when you get out of college.
couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in that shabby little office. I'm sorry, Pop, I didn't mean that remark, but this business of nickels and dimes and spending all your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I go crazy. I want to do something big and something important.
You know, George, I feel that in a small way we are doing something important. Satisfying the fundamental urge. It's not too much to ask for a man to want his own roof and walls and a fireplace. And we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Pop. I wish I... Well, you see, I've been hoarding pennies like a miser in order... Well, most of my friends have already finished college. I just feel like if I don't get away, I bust.
Yes, you're right, Billy. This town's no place to live if you aren't willing to crawl to fire. You get yourself an education, you get out of here.
I'm glad you see what I'm talking about. Say, I think I'm going down on Old Main Street last night in Town Hall.
Have a good time, son.
Who's that? Why, that's Lana Bick. The little girl from the candy counter? That's right.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Vi.
What gives?
Nothing.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'll probably end up down at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. What are you doing tonight?
Not a thing.
Oh, are you game, Vi? What do you say we make a night of it?
Oh, I love it, Georgie. What do we do?
Well, let's go out in the fields and take off our shoes and walk in the grass. And then we can go up to Stewart Lake, and beautiful up there in the moonlight, and we can swim. And then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks. We'll stay up there the whole night. Everybody will be talking. There'll be a terrific scandal.
George, have you gone crazy? Walking across my bare feet? Why, it's 10 miles up there to Mount Bedford. You just because you... Oh!
Okay, just forget about the whole thing. Forget about what, George? Oh, nothing, Sam. You remember Mary, don't you?
Hi, George.
Oh, hiya, Mary. Say, you wouldn't mind walking Mary home, would you, George? Of course not. Is that okay with you, Mary?
Fine by me.
Great, thanks.
So George walked Mary home. Is that important, Joseph?
Oh, I'd say it is. Because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get there.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Hot dog, oh boy. Just like an organ, gee whiz. You know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young or too old?
Oh, no, just right. Your age fits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
No. Don't you know about deserted homes? You make a wish and then you throw a rock.
But George, it's such a lovely old place. I wish I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live there if I was a ghost. Now watch. Watch this. How about it, huh? Pretty good shot. Broke a window, huh?
What's your wish, George?
What? Not just one wish. A whole hatful, Mary. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet. I'm gonna see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm coming back here, go to college and see what they know. And then I'm gonna build things. I'm gonna build airfields. I'm gonna build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm gonna build bridges a mile long, and then I'm gonna... Hey, what are you gonna throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish for, Mary?
Oh, no. If I tell you, it may not come true.
Hey, Mary, come on. What do you want, huh? What, you want the moon? All you gotta do is just say the word.
Okay, I'll take the moon. And then what?
Then I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. And then you could swallow it. And it would all dissolve, see? And the moonbeams would shoot out your fingers and your toes and into your hair and the... Am I talking too much?
Yes! Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Who's that?
Old Dan Collins on his front porch.
Ah, youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, come on there. Hey, mister, come back on out here. I'll show you some kissing that'll put hair back on your head.
father's had a stroke.
I'm sorry, Mary, I've got to go.
George's father died that night, Clarence. So of course George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor.
I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out here these past few months. And it was greatly appreciated. I think that's all we'll need for you, George. Good luck to you at school. I know you're anxious to make a trip.
Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get to my real purpose. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building alone and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
It's too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building alone. It was his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say that to the public, Peter Bailey was the building alone.
Oh, that's fine, Potter, coming from you, considering that you probably drove him to his grave.
Now, Peter Bailey was not a businessman. Now, that's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. Now, what does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible hooey.
Now, just a minute. Now, hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny-ante building alone, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was, why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy?
You got that?
He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. What's wrong with that? Why here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said, what did you say just a minute ago? That they had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home? Wait? Wait for what? Till their children grow up and leave them? Till they're so old and broken down that do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Was it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him, but to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I'm talking about the building and
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. I've said too much. You're the board here. You do what you want with this thing. Just one more thing, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can come without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Yeah. Sentimental hogwash. I want my motion.
They're just coming out of the board meeting. I'll have to call you back. What happened, George? All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Boy, oh boy, Matilda, you should have heard George.
Yeah, they're voting us down in there.
George, get out of here. You missed your boat trip. You want to miss college, too? Don't worry about the board. They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 55.
You're 58.
George, they voted Potter down. We're still in business.
Hey, well, me, we're still in business. We're still in business.
There's one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appoint me, but I'm going to college now. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
You can keep him on, that's all right.
Now, let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school. This is my last chance.
But George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter
flame motors and train whistles. Look, here's the professor now.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Nobody ever changes around here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
She's home cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait. This is Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh?
Well, I warned you I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife.
Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations. Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? Say, what's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you. It's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets you and a job. Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth. Let's start ahead and leave the bags for the fellas.
All right.
George, about the job. Bruce spoke up for her. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and well, I won't let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right.
That night, homecoming for Harry became his wedding party. Uncle Billy familiarized himself with the spirits.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I feel so good I could spit in Potter's eye. I think I will. What do you say? Maybe I should go home if you just point me in the right direction.
Right down there.
That way, huh? Old building alone, pal. See you later. I'm all right.
George?
Yeah, I'm out here on the porch, Mother. Just thought I would get some air.
Well, how do you like your new sister-in-law?
Oh, she's swell.
Looks like she'll keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, I keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
George, do you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Mm-hmm.
Nice girl, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stop grumbling. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't go call on Mary.
Well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about her.
Well, she's not crazy about
Well,
him.
now how do you know that, Mother? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam is away in New York and you're here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war.
Well, I don't know about war.
All right, Mother. I think I'll go out and find a girl and do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George.
Bye, Mrs. Bailey. By the way, do you know of any good books down at the library?
The library? George, you go call on Mary. You hear? Hello, George.
Oh. Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to paying a visit.
My mother just called you? Well, how did she know?
Well,
I didn't tell anybody. Just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. What? I just went for a walk, that's all. When did you get back?
Tuesday. Would you like to come in?
Well, I guess, since I'm here. Say, where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
Oh, it's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York with Sam and Francie and the rest of them.
Oh, I worked there a couple of occasions, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, everything. Would you like to sit down?
All right, but just for a minute. I still can't understand it, though. You know, I didn't tell anybody I was coming here.
Would you rather leave?
No. Don't want to be rude.
It was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Of course I like her. She's a peach.
Oh, it's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
Well, no, marriage is okay for Harry and Sam Wainwright and you.
Mary? Who's down there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey. What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want, George?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
You tell him to go right home. Right back home. Don't you leave. Sam Wainwright's going to be calling from New York tonight.
Your mother, Dee. You know I didn't come here to...
What did you come here for?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one who has all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
That's where I'm going then. I don't know why I came here in the first place.
That's awfully nice of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean old Mossback George?
Yes, old Mossback George.
Well, hee-haw, put him on.
Wait a minute, I'll call him. George! He doesn't want to talk to her. Talk to him. You idiot. He does so. He asked for him. George, Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are. What are you doing? Trying to steal my girl?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your girl.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension. I am not. We can both hear you. George, just put your pen in a little closer.
Oh, okay.
There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, you remember that night at Martini's bar when you told me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Yeah, soybeans, yeah.
Well, my father's checked into it, George, you see, and now he's going to build a factory outside of Rochester. How do you like that?
Well, Rochester? Well, why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can you think of anything better?
Well, I don't know. Why not here in Bedford Falls? Why, you remember that old tool of machinery works. You tell your father he can get that for a song and all the labor he wants, too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed that down.
That so? Well, I'll tell him. Hey, that sounds great. Oh, baby, I knew you'd come through. Now, here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, that is, unless you're still married to that old broken-down building alone. Oh, Mary.
I'm here.
You tell that guy I'm giving him a chance of a lifetime, you hear?
He says it's a chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone. Now, you listen to me, Mary. I don't want any plastics. I don't want any job. I don't want to get married. Never, ever to anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do, and you're not going to. Oh, Mary.
George.
Oh, Mary, I love you.
George, I love you too.
We will return to WBFR Playhouse on the Air's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. But first, gentlemen, does your hair resemble a dried out bird's nest full of dander flakes? Do you plaster your hair down like a cheap gigolo, smelling to high heaven?
You, what a stink.
When girls get a gander at the tip top of your noggin, do they go,
Ew.
well, here's a friendly hint that may just help you out in the romance department. Starting tomorrow, why not try Brindle Hair Tonic? Yes, sirree. You'll be heading for success with Brindle Groomed Hair. A success with the gals and on the job. Brindle always keeps hair looking mighty attractive, always in place. A real sex appealer. Brindle Hair Tonic does lots more than keep your hair handsome looking. Brindle's Hair Tonic makes your milky bird's nest clean. A little hair will do ya, all the pretty gals will scream. Not only will they love it, your barber will scrub it clean. Brindle will swing hair tonic, your gander will be history. Buy some Brindle today, your hair will thank you. And now, back to me. It's a Wonderful Life.
George and Mary were married. And following the wedding and reception, George's old pal, Ernie the cab driver, drove the happy couple to the train station.
Hey, where you two going on this here honeymoon? We're gonna shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Here's a kitty, Ernie, $2,000. I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
Ha-ha, so you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
That does it. Hey, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you since...
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look, over at the bank. It looks like a run.
Pull over there a minute, will you, Ernie?
Oh, George, let's not stop. Please, let's go straight to the station.
No, wait a minute. I better see what it is. I'll be right back.
George, please. George!
What
charter says we need to stay open until 6 o'clock or we'll lose our license.
Bailey Brothers building it.
Get me George.
George, it's Potter.
Hello.
George, there's a rumor around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Do you need any police? The mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
Oh, we're fine.
We'll see. Now, George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close for a week and then reopen. Now, I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay 50 cents on the dollar.
Oh, you don't miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're gonna miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., you will never reopen.
Well, he just took over the bank, Billy. Open the doors. Come in. Just remember, hold on, this thing isn't as black as it appears. I have some news for you, folks. I just talked to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the bank.
How about our money, George? Where's our money?
Now, please, wait a minute. Now, just listen to me. You're thinking of this place all wrong. The money's not here. Let me tell you, your money's in people's houses. Like in the Kennedy house, the McLaren house, why, in your house, and 100 others. Now, what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
I got $240 in here, and $240 isn't going to break anybody.
All right, Charlie, all right. Now, you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Well, now, that's what you agreed to when you bought your share.
I got my money. Old man Potter's taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar.
Please don't leave. I beg you not to do this. Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll be owning this building alone. He's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department store, and now he's after us, because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now we can get through this, though. This is all right. We've got to stick together. We've got to have faith in each other.
My husband's out of work. We need money.
I got doctor bills to pay.
Can't feed my kids with faith.
How much do you need? We've still got some money. We've got $2,000 from the wedding.
Hey, Mary, look, I got $2,000 here. This will tide us over till the bank reopens. All right. Charlie, how much do you need?
$242.
Oh, Charlie, come on. Just enough to tide you over till the bank reopens.
I'll take $240.
Okay. Uncle Billy, give Charlie $242. All right, Ed. How much do you need to get by?
$20, I suppose.
Oh, now we're talking. Now, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
But it's your own money, George.
Oh, never mind that. How much do you want, Mrs. Thompson?
Could I have $17.50?
7. Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. Uncle Billy, give her $17.50. Pay it back when you can now. All right. Who's next?
Look at the clock. Look.
5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 6 o'clock. We made it. Lock the door, Uncle Billy. Lock the door. Boy, we're still in business, Uncle Billy. We ain't even got $2 left.
Bailey Brothers building in... just a minute. George, there's a call for you.
Oh, look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey's on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. That's my wife. Oh, Mrs. Bailey. Mary, hello. Listen, dear, I'm sorry. What? To come home? What home? 320 Sycamore? Whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel, huh?
That doesn't look like the Waldorf. Oh, no. Number 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one George and Mary threw rocks and made wishes. Mary had prepared the house, including a turkey dinner, romantic decorations, and even a marriage bed.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Well, I'll be.
Remember the night we broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
Darling, you're wonderful.
Yes, sir. That's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started their lives together. Mary made the leaky old house a home while George toiled away at the building and loan office, providing houses,
can I bring something for all the Laurents?
For the Martinis, Maria, come quick! Our first housewarming gifts! Bring the kids!
Bread, so this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
Bailey houses were popping up all over the place, mostly owned by people that used to live in Potter's Field. And Potter had just not enough of that. So after a couple of years, old man Potter decided to call our George into his office.
Sit down, George. Sit down. Have a cigar?
Oh, thank you, sir. Quite a cigar, Mr. Potter.
Well, you like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but just what exactly did you want to see me about?
George, now that's just what I like so much about you. George, I'm an old man. Most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. And you know just as well as I do that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey building and loan. And you know also that for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it, but I haven't been able to do it. You have been stopping me. In fact, you have beat me, George, and that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones who kept our heads. You saved the building loan, and I saved all the rest.
Yes, well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George. The suckers. Now let's look at your side. A young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week.
45.
No, 45.
45.
Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I'd say you were doing fine. But George Bailey is intelligent, ambitious. He hates the building loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of town ever since he was born. A young man, and the smartest one in the crowd, mind you. A young man who has to sit by and watch his friends go places because he's trapped. Trapped in frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, you're the only man in town who's licked me. I want to hire you, manage my affairs. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
Yes, you wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while to Europe. You wouldn't mind that now, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? Are you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. Don't you remember me? The building loan, remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has brains enough to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building loan?
Oh, confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if you might give me 24 hours to think about it.
Hey, sure. Go home and talk to your wife.
I'd like that.
In the meantime, I'll draw out the papers, and soon you'll be managing my affairs.
Your affairs? No. The answer's no. Doggone it. You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a squirming little spider.
What did Mr. Potter want, George?
Nothing. Just talk. Nothing. Ah, gee, Mary Hatch. Why in the world would you ever marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
I was going to see the world. I was going to build things. I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? Not even a new dress. Not for months. Could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anyone else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. I promised you. You're what?
My baby.
You mean, Mary, you're on the nest?
George Bailey Lasso Stewart.
Well, Mary had her baby. A boy.
You don't say.
Then she had a girl.
Well, what do you know about that?
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building alone. Potter was really bearing down hard. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then, but still had time to run the USO. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Violet entertained the troops. Bert the cop was wounded in North Africa. He got the Silver Star. Ernie the taxi driver parachuted into France. And Harry Bailey topped them all. A Navy flyer. He shot down 15 planes, 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yes, but George. What about George?
George? 4F on account of his ear. George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls. Air raid order, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You know now almost everything you have to know about George Bailey. Except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, wanting to die.
Well, sir,
Well, today's the day before Christmas, and Billy is at the bank to make a deposit when he ran into Old Man Potter.
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter. Come to the bank to deposit some more loot, huh?
Yeah, sure, you old fool.
Well, how do you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. You just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you?
Let me see that newspaper.
Here you go. Sorry, I can't chat you, old thief. Gotta make a deposit.
good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Horace. Here you are. Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Mr. Bailey. Say, haven't you forgotten to bring something with you?
What's
Well,
that?
you wanted to make a deposit.
Well, certainly.
Well, it's customary to bring the money with you.
It's gone. Where'd I put it? Where'd I put that money?
A terrible thing, Clarence. Terrible. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up in the newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter. At the same time as Billy started looking for the deposit, Violet came to visit George at the building alone.
Oh, hello, Vi.
Suppose you're getting things set back at the house for the party tonight.
Well, you know you're invited. Say, what's wrong?
You see right through me, don't you?
How much do you need?
I hate doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any more after this.
You planning on robbing a bank, Vi?
I'm going to Manhattan.
What's in Manhattan?
Why, everything's in Manhattan. A new start, at least.
That's a big step, Vi. Say, what's the matter with starting a new life right here in Bedford Falls?
Well, I'll be. Never thought I'd hear that from you, George, baby. I thought you hated this place.
I did. But this town has a charm of its own.
You should give tours, maybe.
I'm just thinking of you, Violet. Manhattan's a big place to take on your own.
I made a decision. There's a midnight train tonight, and I plan to be on it.
Takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again. Here's some dough.
No, George.
Well, what do you want to do? Hike your furs and that hat? Want to walk to New York? You know, they charge for meals and rent up there just the same as they do in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business, building a loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Merry Christmas, George.
George! Uncle, what's going on? The bank examiner's come today.
Today?
Yeah, wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you?
The money, the $8,000.
What? Uncle Billy, what happened to it?
I don't know. I was going to deposit it. When I went to the bank, I didn't have it.
$8,000. Now, Uncle Billy, the bank examiner's in town. It's not our money. It belongs to our depositors.
I'm so sorry, George. I just don't know what happened.
Look, the first place, you look in your coat pocket. I told you to put it there when you left.
I'm no good to you, George. I'm no good.
Let's go then. We have to retrace your steps. We'll leave no stone unturned.
And as George and Billy went looking for the deposit, Potter had a meeting with the state bank examiner, a Miss Sadie Vance.
The whole town's turned I'm right, Potter?
To think he would make such a foolish mistake. Now, look how much it is.
There's $8,000 here.
What a Christmas present, and he doesn't even know it.
Just a minute here, Potter. I know you've been giving the Baileys a hard time far back as I can remember. Why?
I don't have to give answers to you. You're just a state examiner.
Yes, I am. But I am unimpressed by your buying off everyone in town. Oh, that's it. You could never buy the Baileys.
What?
You heard what I said. The Baileys have always stood for something you always wanted and are jealous of. They're honest.
You're fired!
You can't fire me. I'm state appointed. And what's more, I am not going to turn my back. This is stealing from the Baileys. Something like this would certainly cause them to fold.
Yes, and after 25 years. Finders keepers, now you know that. Now he gave me the money. It was his own fault. And besides, there's not a court in the county that would find me guilty.
And we all know why.
How is your family, Sadie?
My family?
I know how little state positions pay. What would you say to a little Christmas bonus?
I want no part of this.
That's not what I heard.
What are you insinuating, Potter?
I will not be turned down.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to pay the Baileys a surprise visit. You'll see the records. They'll be short. You know the rest. At last. The Baileys will be right where they belong. Down for good.
I know just what to do.
Did you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah.
Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Do you have any secret hiding place here in the house?
I've gone over the whole house, and even in rooms that have been locked ever since I lost your Aunt Laura.
Listen to me now, think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Now, where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail, and it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy. Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
Merry Christmas wreath for the window.
I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, it just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. I'll bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's so excited.
But must she keep playing that?
I have to practice for the party tonight, Daddy.
Mommy says we can stay up until midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing, Daddy?
Better hurry and shake, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? Well, I don't want the families over here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Have a hectic day.
Oh, yeah, another big red letter day for the babies.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see
Well,
it.
what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
Hi, Bert.
All right, darling. You're excused. Now go upstairs and see what Zuzu wants.
What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she got a cold. Caught it coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, a sore throat?
The doctor says it's nothing serious.
Was the doctor here?
I called him right away.
Did she run in a temperature?
Just a teensy one.
Oh, gosh, it's this old house. I don't know why we don't all have pneumonia in this drafty old barn. Might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. Call this a happy family, and why did we have to have all these kids?
Hey, Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know, ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Where do you think you're going?
Want to give my flower a drink?
All right, now give Daddy the flower, I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy.
paste this together. There it is. Good, isn't it?
Give the flower a drink.
I will. Will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try to get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my flowers.
I know, but you just go to sleep, and then you can dream about it. And it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. The doctor says she'll be out of bed in time for a Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Oh, let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch? This is George Bailey. Say, what kind of a teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that half naked? Is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have teachers like you? Silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on? Aw, that's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? She hung up.
I'll hang her up.
Now, who do you think you are?
Wait a minute. Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mr. Welch. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welch. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think you're
George.
Will you get out of here and let me handle this? Hello? Oh, you will, huh? Oh, okay, Mr. Welch. Anytime you think you're man enough, anytime you want to, Mr. Welch.
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
What do you think I am, a dictionary? Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You played it over and over again. Now stop it! Stop it!
George, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology too. I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
Well, look now. What's the matter with everybody now? Janie, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't you?
Where's Daddy going?
Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Shall I pray for him?
Yes, Janie, pray very hard. Me too. You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy?
So that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in the books, eh?
Please, Mr. Potter. Pay any sort of interest if you still want the building loan.
You said it was lost. Did you notify the police?
No, sir, I haven't done that yet. There is homecoming tomorrow.
Why do you come to me? What about your good friend, Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What kind of securities would I have, George? What collateral?
I have some life insurance, a $15,000 policy.
Yeah, but how much is your equity in it?
$500.
And you want $8,000. Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. But you once called me a warped, frustrated old man. Well, what are you but a warped, frustrated young man? You're crawling in here on your hands and knees, begging for help. No securities, no stocks, no bonds. You're worth more dead than you are alive. Well, why don't you go to the riprap you love so much and ask them for help?
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please help me. My wife and my kids.
You know what I'm going to do for you? As the stockholder of the building loan, I'm calling the state examiner to get a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation. Now,
Mr. Potter, please, you can't. They can't arrest me.
Run! You can't hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, George.
And now more from our side. Are you guilty of careless driving because windshield bug spots dulled your vision?
Yes, I'm guilty.
Stop straining to see through a bug-spattered windshield. Duck toilet cake. It gets the squash bugs off quickly, easily. Yes, even when the sun has baked them in the glass.
Remember, you need clear vision as well as good brakes to avoid accidents. You'll find Duck's toilet cake leaves glass polished so crystal clear, you'd hardly know it's there.
I feel so much safer after I clean my windshield with Duck's toilet cake. It leaves no dangerous oily film to pick up dust and make night driving difficult.
Duck's toilet cake, a soap of 100 uses. You better wash high, you better wash low, and your ears too, I'm telling you so. Duck's toilet cake is cleaning uptown. It washes up cars, it washes up bars, and out in LA it washes up stars. Duck's toilet cake is cleaning uptown. It's found in every bathroom, from sea to shining sea. It's used by our dear president, and it's used by you and me. You better wash high, you better wash low, behind your ears too, I'm telling you so. Duck's toilet cake is cleaning uptown. Buy a cake of Duck's toilet cake soap today. Keep it in your car. And now, the dramatic conclusion of It's a Wonderful Life.
How about some of that good spaghetti?
We got everything.
Where's George, sir?
Where? After running out of Potter's office, George ended up at Martini's bar. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just sitting there.
What's he saying? Shh. Who is he?
Oh, God. God, dear Father in heaven. I'm not a praying man. But if you're up there, you can hear me, Father. Show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope, Lord. Show me the way, God.
You all right, George? You want somebody to take you home?
Why do you drink so much, my friend? Why you don't feel good? Please go on, Mr. Bailey.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
This gentleman is Mr. Bailey, George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? And that next time you talk to my wife like that, wow, you'll get worse. Isn't it enough she teaches your stupid little kids how to read and write? You gotta ball her out like that?
Mr. Welch, you hit my best friend, you get out!
All right, all right.
Mr. Bailey, you okay?
Who was that?
Mr. Welch, but don't you worry, you don't come into this place no more. I'll get something for your face, it's bleeding.
I'm all right.
No, please, don't go away, Mr. Bailey.
Leave me alone.
Please,
Just leave me alone.
George is headed to the bridge now, Clarence. Can you see him?
Looks like he's gonna jump.
It's time, Clarence.
Excuse me. You there? Have you got the time?
My watch is dead.
Thanks, just the same.
Help! Melvin! Help, I can't
Hold on, mister, I'm coming!
What the San hell are the two of you doing? This storm's not fit for man to reach. Now get out of that water. Are you two all right? You need a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
No, I'm fine. This underwear, I didn't have time to get anything stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
Passed away?
Oh, I see Tom Sawyer's drying out too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry I brought Tom Sawyer with me. You should read the new book Mark Twain is working on.
Say, how'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
You jumped in to save me.
Well, I did, didn't I? You did go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yeah, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
What?
I had to act quickly. That's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, you would try to save me, and you see, you did. And that's how I saved you.
Oh, that's very funny.
Your lip's bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer.
Oh, no, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
How do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
What are you, a mind reader or something?
Oh, no.
Well, who are you then?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody, AS2. What's that AS2?
Angel second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not need a doctor, but I do.
Cheerio, my big man.
Hey, look here. Why do you want to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself for money. $8,000.
Yeah, just things like that. Now, how do you know about that?
I told you. I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like about the kind of angel I'd get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
But you don't happen to have $8,000 on you.
No. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. Well, it comes in pretty damn handy down here, bud.
Oh.
I found out a little late. We're more dead than alive.
Now look, you mustn't say things like that. I won't get my wings with that attitude. You just don't know all that you've done. If it hadn't been for
if it hadn't been for me, everybody'd be a whole lot better off. My wife, my kids, my friends.
This isn't going to be easy.
They'd all be better if I hadn't been born.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I hadn't been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful?
The idea you just gave me. Well, you've got your wish. You've never been born.
Never been born?
Exactly. No worries. No $8,000 to get. Nothing. You simply don't exist.
Hey, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Say something else in that ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're you're nobody.
Well, that's the doggonest thing.
Your lips stop bleeding too, George.
Well, what do you know about that? What happened? Hey, I need a drink. That's what I need. Well, what about you, Angel? You want a drink?
Well, I don't know.
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. Well, that stove's hotter than I thought. Well, look, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and... excuse me. I'll stroll and you fly.
I haven't got my wings.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't got the wings. A couple of drinks and we'll both fly. There's a place over there. Sit down, Ryder. Hey, hello, Nick. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls? Don't you mean Pottersville?
Pottersville? Hey, where's Martini?
Look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Oh, okay, all right. Double bourbon. Quick, huh?
Okay. What's yours, Bob?
I was just thinking of mulled wine.
Huh?
Heavy on the cinnamon, light on the cloves. Off with you, my lad, and lively now.
Hey, look, mister, we serve hard drinks in here for men who want to get drunk fast. And we don't need any characters around to give the joint atmosphere.
Come on here, just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
2 double bourbon.
What about this place? It's all changed.
Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there'll be lots of things you've never seen before. Oh, good. Somebody's just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell ring, it means that some angel's just got his wings.
What did you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
Don't they believe in angels?
Yeah, they believe in them, but, you know, it's...
Why should people be surprised when they see one?
Huh? Don't mind him, Nick. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
293 next May.
That does it. Out you 2 pixies go. Through the door or out the window. Go on. Out.
Where's Martini? Will you
Stop asking about Martini. He ain't here. Well, look who crawled out from under whatever hole he's been hiding in.
Hey, it's Mr. Gower.
Hey, you, Rummy, didn't I tell you never come panhandling around here?
Oh, George, look.
Mr. Gower, this is George Bailey. Don't you know me?
Will you buy me a drink, mister? Just one more drink, mister.
Binky, throw this rummy out.
You got it.
Oh no, please, please.
Hey, Nick, isn't that Mr. Gower that brought us?
That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Binky, here's 2 more. Get him out of here.
You got it, boss.
Here, let me help you out. The snow's quite cold.
What's wrong with Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, George, you weren't there to stop Gower from putting that poison in the
Well,
prescription.
what do you mean I wasn't there? What are you, a hypnotist? Why am I seeing all these strange things?
Don't you understand? It's because you were never born.
Then if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name's George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance policy.
Zuzu's petals.
What?
Zuzu's petals, my little girl. Some petals fell off of her flower. I told her I'd fix it, and I stuck them in my pocket. They're gone too. Everything's gone.
But you've been given a great gift, George. The chance to see what the world would be like if you'd never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy, too. Now, look, I'm going to go home to my wife and family. Do you understand that? And I'm going home alone. You know the drill. Hands behind your back, sister.
Keep your hands off me. Why don't you bust somebody else for a change?
Hey, officer, where did the building alone move to?
The building in what?
The Bailey building alone. It was up there.
They went out of business years ago. Now all that's there is this burlesque house.
Not so fast, Copper. I know pie.
Hey, Violet! Hey, listen, that's Violet Bick.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
I know that girl.
Who doesn't? Now get out of our way.
Taxi! Hey, Ernie, take me home. I'm going up my nut here.
Where do you live?
Oh, now, doggone it, Ernie. Don't you start pulling that stuff, too. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore, now hurry up.
Okay, 326.
Hurry up now, Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Look here, Ernie, straighten me out. I got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me. Now, you're Ernie Bishop. You live in Bailey Park with your wife and kids. That's right, isn't it?
You seen my wife?
I've seen your wife. I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Potter's Field. My wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid. And I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just step on it. Just get me home.
This the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for 20 years.
Mary, I'm home. Pete, Tommy, Janie, Zuzu, where are you?
You're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are they, Clarence? What have you done with them?
All right, put up your hands.
What is this?
No fast moves. Come on out here, both of you.
Bert! Thank heaven you're here. Bert, what's happened to this house? And where's Mary? Where's my kids?
Watch him, Bert.
Come on. I'm going to take you down to the station.
Bert, now listen to me. It's that fellow there. He says he's an angel and he's trying to hypnotize me.
Don't make me use my knife,
Bert, I hate to do this, but...
Run, George, run! Run, George!
Ma Bailey's boarding house?
Well,
Mother?
Mother, what do you want?
Mother, this is George. I thought sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Mother, please, try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please, let me stay here.
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody you know, your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Well, sure I do.
When did you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in an insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
I'm here again, George.
My mother. My own mother didn't even know me.
Strange, isn't it? One man's life touches so many others. When he isn't around, he leaves a pretty big hole, doesn't he?
Oh, look, you. I've heard of things like this before. You got me under some kind of spell. I'm gonna get out of it. I've got to. I know I talked to Billy this afternoon. How can he be in an asylum? Gotta snap out of this. Let me think a minute. Bailey Park.
There is no Bailey Park if you weren't there to build it.
Oh, we'll see about that.
This is Bailey Park? People live here? Pretty grim.
This is where Bailey Park is supposed to be. What's this gravestone doing here? Why is the name Bailey on it?
That wouldn't be yours.
My father's name is on it. What's this other name? Why is my brother Harry's name here?
Your brother broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save him because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
What do I do now? Clarence, what do I do?
It's your life, George.
What's happened to Mary, Clarence?
Mary?
My wife, Mary. What happened to her if I was never born?
I'm not supposed to tell you, George.
I don't know how you know the things you do, but please, if you know where she is, just let me see her. That's all I need to make a decision.
Very well, George, but you're not going to like it.
Where is she, Clarence?
She's an old maid, George.
Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library. There must be some easier way for me to earn my wings.
Is the library closed?
It's Christmas Eve. We can't stay open all night.
Can I ask you something?
I should really be getting home.
What is there to go home to?
That is none of your business, sir. The library is closed. Maybe you should try back at 26.
Mary, I'm sorry.
How do you know my name?
All I need is a couple of minutes.
I told you, the library is closed.
Please, just 2 minutes. That's all I need. I'll do anything.
You sound desperate. I'll help if I can. What is it?
Isn't this town Bedford Falls?
It used to be, but that was some time ago. I wasn't very old when Potter was elected and took the town along with its name for himself.
So, do you know a place called Bedford Falls?
I've seen pictures. It looked like a very nice place. Things have changed, but that's with the times. I have to go.
Mary Hatch. You live on Reed Street. A white Victoria. Your bedroom is at the top of the stairs. You turn to the left. You have an older brother, Marty, and you live with your mother, Edwina.
How do you know all this? What are you, some crazy man? Stop it. I'm leaving.
Don't you know me, Mary? Just let me touch you.
Get your hands off me. I'll call a cop.
The house you wish for. Don't you remember?
I told you I don't know you. Let me go.
Don't you know me? You must, Mary. It's George. Don't you know me?
Let me go.
Mary, please, don't do this to me. Please, Mary. Help me. And where are our kids?
What?
I need you, Mary. Help me, Mary.
Get away from me. Help. Help. Police.
Mary. Mary, it's George. Please, Mary. You're with my wife. Clarence. Clarence. Clarence, where are you? Help me, Clarence. Give me back, Clarence. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarence, please. Please, Clarence, I want to live again. I want to live again. Please, oh God, please let me live again. George? Is that you, George? Get out of here, Bert. Get out of here. You come any closer, I'll hit you again.
What the Sam Hill are you yelling me for, George?
Come on now, Bert. George? George! Bert! Do you know me?
Know you? I've been looking all over town for you. Where you been?
Hey, Bert! I'm alive again, Bert!
You sure you're all right? Hey, your mouth's bleeding.
It is.
George, I got a little paper here.
Yeah, I bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? Merry Christmas! Where's Mary? Look at this wonderful old drafty house. Isn't it wonderful? Where's Mary? Yes! Dee, Janie, Tommy, I can eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
Zuzu! Zuzu, my little ginger snap, how do you feel?
Fine, Daddy. Not a smidge of temperature.
Not a smidge. Hallelujah!
George, darling. It's Mommy. Mommy's home.
Mary!
George, where have you been? Oh, George.
Oh, Mary,
George.
let me touch you. Oh,
George,
you're real.
George.
Oh, you have no idea what's happening to me.
You have no idea what's happened either. Come on, George, quick. They're on their way.
Who's on their way? Oh, the police department, the FBI, National Guard. I'm alive again, Mary. Listen, I'm alive again, Mary.
Come on in here now. Now you stand right over here by the tree. Right here. And don't move. Don't move. I hear them now, George. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Come on in. Uncle Billy, everybody. In here.
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. They didn't ask any questions, just said, if George is in trouble, you can count on me. You never saw anything like it.
What is this, George? Another run in the bank? Here you are. Merry Christmas.
The line forms to the right, Mr. Gower. Merry Christmas. Mr. Martini, step right up now.
I got myself the jukebox full.
Mr. Gower!
I made the rounds of my charge accounts.
Violent Bick.
I'm not going to go, George. I changed my mind.
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you, George. Here you go, $242.
I've been saving this money for a divorce, if I ever get a husband.
Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas!
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. A telegram from London.
Oh, London.
Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Hello, George. How are you? Harry! Harry!
Mary! Looks like I got here too late. Mary, I got him here for as quickly as I could. The fool flew all the way up here in the blizzard.
Harry, how about your banquet in Washington?
Oh, I left right in the middle of it as soon as I got Mary's telegram.
How about some wine?
Good idea. A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town.
What's this book, George?
Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's an inscription.
George, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What's that?
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
This has been WBFR Playhouse and the Air's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. The WBFR Playhouse is brought to you this and every week by Brindle Hair Time and Duck's Toilet Cake. Please stay tuned for a program of popular holiday music. This is Freddie Fillmore signing off for WBRF in New York City and wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Good night.
Thank you all for coming. It's been a wonderful evening here in Bedford Falls, has it not? So, wonderful job. Dan Breedlove, take your bow, take your bow. I just want to remind you that on your way out, there is a collection plate on the way out the back door. It helps us really seed money for the next production that comes along. We really would appreciate a donation on your part. It's certainly not mandatory, but it is available for you. There's also a brochure out there regarding some Christmas activities coming up shortly around town. Pick one of those up if you've not already. We've enjoyed being here with you tonight.